Hi everyone, welcome back to Move with Sheri. I'm back, and I am going to guide us through a really gentle back to basics, guaranteed feel good Pilates workout. Simple movements today, but for sure I hope you feel amazing, settled, and relaxed into the body. So, setting yourselves up, let's plant your feet, tailbone, shoulders, back of your head into your mat on your floor. Take a couple of breaths just to ground in here, settling into your space, closing down their eyes. We're going to breathe into different areas of the torso, starting with breathing into the chest. Place those hands on top of the chest. Take a big breath in through the nose. Exhale out. Breathing in through the nose. As you exhale out, try and release any tension away from the chest. Awesome. Let's breathe into the sides of the rib cage, lateral breathing, placing the hands on the side of the rib cage. Take a breath in, exhale out. Again, breathing in, letting the sides of the rib cage expand. Exhale, let everything go, melt away. Let's go into our belly breath and diaphragm breathing here. Taking a big inhale, letting the belly rise. And a big exhale out from the mouth. Now for all my girlies, all men who feel like they need to hold in their belly all the time, this is even more important. Trust me, it took me a while to feel comfortable breathing into the belly, but it feels so good. Continue with a couple more of those, breathing in through the nose, out from the mouth. A big last one, breath, a big inhale, letting everything expand. And take a big exhale, draw it out, exhale it out until it's all gone. And open up those eyes. Take a moment, just notice how you feel, maybe a little bit more relaxed, more at ease in the body, I hope so. I'm going to move on to some pelvic tilts now. So placing your hands on your hip bones or underneath the belly button. Using the breath here, let's exhale, roll those hips back until you imprint your lower back onto the floor. Inhale and release back to neutral. Exhale, roll those hips back. Inhale, bring those hips back to where they want to rest naturally on the floor. Here we're not pulling any tension from the chest, neck, or shoulders, or even from your hip flexors. You want to feel that pelvic floor abdominal connection. After a couple of those, let's bring everything back to settle in. We're going to move on to a pelvic curl, rolling up into our bridge. So rolling back into that posterior tilt. We're coming up all the way into our bridge, and then roll your spine one vertebrae at a time back onto your mat. Using the breath here, exhale to roll up, articulating through the spine, feeling your shoulders and feet pressing into the floor. Inhale at the top, and exhale, let's roll down. Try and articulate and have every moment, every part of your back and spine melting onto the floor. Adding on some arms here if you want that extra stretch and lengthening out through the spine. Reaching the hands behind and then roll your spine back down. Then lastly, bring your hands back by your side. Inhale to prepare. Exhale, press into the floor. Roll those hips up and lift and reach those hands behind. Hold those arms there. And then exhale, rolling your spine back down. Feeling the lengthening through the back and the front of the body. I love this movement. It feels so good, especially if you feel tight in your shoulders and your back. Last one. Taking a bit of exhale, roll and melt back down, gently feeling everything, and then release and relax. Well, we're going for one more round here. Taking a big breath on top. And let's hold on top here for this last one. I'm going to just move through the upper body. So feel those hamstrings engage, glutes engage. You shouldn't be feeling pulling or too much activation in those quads. If you are, just lower those hips down slightly, hugging in the belly and rib cage here. We're going opening and closing now. In other words, in Pilates, we call this hug a tree. Again, not hiking up on the top of the shoulders. Open the arms and close. Take a breath in and exhale, and then roll your spine back down. Those glutes should have felt it, and those hamstrings in that moment of holding. Give yourself a little windscreen wipe out. You can send those knees out and hips, feet out wider. And bring everything back. So You want your feet about hip distance apart as well. I hope you're doing that during this. I should have mentioned that before. Oops, sorry guys. Here we are, moving on to single leg lifts. Have those palms pressed down onto your mat or floor, or maybe bring your 2 fingers, index and middle finger, to the crease of your hip bone, just on top of those bony parts. So you don't want to bring the leg too far forward towards you and having a tilt through the pelvis. Keeping the pelvis in neutral. Don't forget to use the breath. Exhale to lift, inhale to lower. Really simple movement here, keeping the leg heavy. This is really good, especially if you have tight hip flexors, to try and find the movement without gripping into the hips. Just really isolating the movement from away from the hip. Nice. Take a breath in and exhale out. From here, we're going to move on to our chest lift, reaching those hands past your thighs, lift the sternum and head and lower back down. Exhale to lift, lifting from the sternum and the top of the nose. Inhale, lower down. If you have any tension in the back of your neck, I have a lot of tension in my neck, so I love to bring my hands behind my head, thumbs pressing into my neck, fingers clasped. Using the breath, exhale, slide the ribcage down. Here we want to imprint your lower back into the floor, finding that deep core connection. Let's add some arms. Sweep those arms forward, bring them behind your head, lower back down. Just for an extra challenge, or if you just want to keep the hands behind your head, go for it. Sweeping the arms forward without moving anything, sweeping those arms back, lowering down. Hold that core connection on top. Make sure you can breathe, no tension in the neck. Give yourself a little smile. Last one, let's hold up, scoop out the belly, breathe, reach, sweep back, lower back down. Woo. From here, let's go on to another extra challenge. Let's bring legs to tabletop one at a time. Beautiful. So same thing with those single leg lifts, but now reverse. We're combining 2 movements together. Holding that chest lift and toe tapping one leg. Again, if you feel any twinging or pinching in the hip flexors, just lessen the range of movement, or maybe bring your head back down and go back to the single leg lifts. This workout, remember, is to feel good. It's not to push or to hurt you. We want to go nice and gentle, but feel strong in our base core foundation. After all that, give yourself a little stretch out. We're going to work into some obliques. In Pilates, we call this hula. Lifting up to your chest lift, have one hand on top of the other. We're sweeping over to the right without moving the pelvis, keeping the base of those hip bones planted into the floor. Use the breath. Let's inhale, reach to the right thigh. Exhale to come back to center. Inhale, reach to the left. Come back to the center. So as you can see, the movement is only through the upper torso here. After a couple of rounds, you can go for that extra challenge, feet up into tabletop, or bring those feet back down and just go back to the base. A couple more here. Inhale, exhale. Try to breathe before you move. Notice the difference. And once you've done a round of those, bring your head down, feet down, have a little shake out, tap out, whatever you need, a little wriggle. And we are going to turn onto our side lying glute work. Again, back to the basics. Lying down onto the side of your arms, slightly bring your feet diagonally forward towards me. You want to hug in the belly and ribcage like you're about to go into a chest lift or a bridge. The back of your spine, imagine it's lengthening like you're planted next to a wall. Here, just lifting that leg up to hip height. You want to feel the base of the glute where it meets the hamstring engage. So you shouldn't be feeling it in your side glutes. Side adductors, my bad. Where those IT bands are, if you're not sure. I'm getting a little tongue-tied, so I hope you don't mind taking a breath. I hope it makes you laugh a little bit during the workout. After a couple of rounds of those, let's tuck those knees in. Option to pop your hand underneath your head, or you can stay lying down. Let's glue those heels together, feeling the same area of that glute and hamstring. We're coming into our clamps. So your range of external rotation of lifting the knee might be smaller here, but that's good. That's the aim. We want to feel the glute activation rather than opening and closing the knee. Especially for dancers, we tend to really overextend and try and go beyond our range. But for here, we're not thinking about range. We're thinking about feeling into the glute and hamstring. It will help for all our balances and anything that you do, like going for a run, jump, balancing on one leg, even just lowering down and picking something up. These muscles are our strong stabilizers that we need for nearly about pretty much everything. After a couple of clams and extensions, let's go for a little pulse and lift. Again, you want to feel it in the back of the glute, still zipping in that core, lengthening the leg away from your hip here for another 4, 3, 2, and close in on 1. Give yourself a little tap out if you need. And we're going to roll around onto our belly for some prone thoracic upper torso extension. Finding yourself comfortable on the floor, just let your legs and feet relax. You're going to start by zipping in the belly here and then send your nose forward, lengthening from the top of your head and lower back down. Again, we're not trying to expand and go beyond our range, just thinking about the muscle activation and lengthening the spine. Option to bring your hands down by your side and then added, roll the shoulders back, slide those shoulders down and lower back down. Here I have my palms down to the floor and then I flip my palms to the ceiling. You can give all 3 versions a try. I encourage it. Explore. Pilates is all about exploring as well. Finding your range and what works for you, because everybody's different depending on our life experience and our habits and movement patterns. Let's use the breath. Exhale. Lower down. Ooh. And then sweeping those arms. I have things in the way from me. If you don't, sweep those arms all the way forward, holding that back extension. That's it. Don't forget to breathe. If this gets a little bit too much for your neck or your shoulders, just bring it back down, lengthen and lower down. Nice. That should feel really good. Opening the chest, lengthening the top part of your spine. Give yourself a little shake out, turn from cheek to cheek and swing on over. Let's go back to the sideline glute on the other side. Now, as I mentioned earlier, this workout, as you've noticed, is slightly different. It's more about exploring different areas of your body and range of movement, lessening it. Sometimes I say this a lot in dance as well, less is more, because you can really feel into it and really be connected to what's going on. Again, feeling the back of the glute, the base of the glute where it meets the hamstring here. This side for me is a little bit more challenging to find that glute. My quads like to take over. I'm sure most of you can relate as well. Once you find it, breathe into it, just lifting that leg slightly at hip height and lower. Good. You can even just roll around the ankle, even dropping the big toe down to the floor helps. Moving on into my clams, I'm going to pop my hand under my head here for this round. Heels are together. Again, feeling that same muscle, the base of the glute engaging, initiating, wrapping back as it lifts your knee up to the ceiling and then lower back down with control. Really think about resisting the knee back down, still hugging in the belly, still lengthening the back of your spine. Upper torso is not moving at all. Let's extend the leg, heel to heel, knee to knee. Find that range, hold it, extend, lengthen the leg, heel to heel, lower. So here we're lengthening and strengthening the length of the body of the legs here. Don't forget to breathe. Oh, have a bit of an itchy nose there. The good thing about this is that we're so engaged, connected to what we're feeling. So you can even do this while you're watching TV or watching a show or watching your partner cook for you. That's always nice. Let's go for the little pulses up and down. Again, not overextending the leg. It's not about how flexible our movement is. It's more about engaging into that glute, feeling into it, breathing, lengthening the leg away from your hip. Here for another 4, 3, 2, and hold it back in. Bring it back home on 1. Alrighty. Just a couple of more things to go. We're going to go into our 4-point kneel. Again, back to the basics. Just finding our base of position. Hands should be underneath your shoulders. If you have hyperextended elbows, arms like I do, soften those elbows, micro bend them. Knees should be underneath the hips. Think about lengthening the spine, tailbone away from the top of your head. Slide the shoulders away from your ears, and let's tuck those toes onto the floor. We're going to do a couple of beast holds or knee hovers, whichever way you want to call it. Lifting the knees about 5 centimeters off the floor, lower. Let's use the breath here. Exhale to lift, inhale to lower. Lower those knees gently. Be kind to your knees. We need them, we love them. Lower back down. Remember, use that breath. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Explore with the breath as well. If you start to breathe first before you move, feel the difference. Last one, let's hold here for 4, 3, 2, 1, and lower down in 4, 3, 2, 1, and then bring your hips back to your heels. Give yourself a child's pose stretch. Feels really good after all that. Simple but effective. Alrighty, coming into our final exercise, we're going into a nice supine twist. So that's lying back on your backs. Bring your hands out wider for a nice base, bigger stance of balance. We're going back to our oblique twist. Here you want to squeeze and glue those heels together. Slightly open the knees about a fist distance apart, if that makes sense. So not too wide. Here now we're keeping the upper torso, the shoulders planted onto the floor and rotating from right hip to left hip. Using the breath, inhale, send the knees down towards one side. Exhale, use your obliques to bring your hips back to center. Again, inhale to lower the knees to the other side. Exhale, feel those obliques to draw everything back to center. Take your time here. Again, not about a big range of movements, more about feeling into those obliques, not pinching in those hip flexors, feeling the back of shoulders, pressing into the floor. Ease of breath, no tension in the face or neck, having a good time. Let's go for another round. Inhale. Exhale, draw it back. And then bring those legs in, hug them in towards your chest, roll out those ankles, sway side to side, whatever you need. And well done, guys. Amazing. I hope you feel good and feel happy as much as I am right now. Give yourself a stretch out, final movements, and we'll sit up and just notice how you're feeling in your body. Give yourself some time to let everything that we've just done settle into your body and your mind also, just to complete and finish what we've just worked through. So closing down those eyes or softening the gaze, you may bring one hand to your heart space, chest, and one hand onto your belly. Coming back to those deep breaths as inhale into those hands. Exhale out. Slowing down the mind, slowing down the breath. Inhale and exhale. Drawing in the inhale through the nose. And exhale, melt and let everything go away. Let it go. Last one here, breathing in all that goodness. Exhale and let go anything we no longer need. Let go of that stress, that tension, because our bodies are amazing and you're amazing And I hope you feel amazing. So let me know, and I'll see you all next time. Thanks, guys.